So I believe you remember the 3 questions. How liberation means freedom or nirvana is attained. How knowledge is attained, knowledge of the reality, and how dispassion is attained. So you see, when we start thinking of a friend, object, or enemy during listening, we will not understand anything what we are discussing. That is not being a seeker. Simply words will enter the mind. Meaning will not enter the mind. Clarity and conviction will not be there. And mind should not be calm, relaxed. Mind should be calm and relaxed in order to be receptive. And to be receptive, we allow these words and its meaning to enter deeper within. Leads to dispassion. So dispassion is the first. Pain and pleasure in thought in the mind. That is important before we go to this verse. You see a person, mind says this person is an enemy. So how that person becomes an enemy? It is a thought in the mind. All experiences takes place in the mind. You look at another guy, he is my friend. So it is that idea, that thought in the mind that he is my friend. It is taking place inside the body, in the mind. But what happens? The mind goes outside, it blames, it categorizes, it labels that object, that person is good, bad, high, low. It takes our mind from dispassion. We enter into passion. 2 things. One more thing to understand before we take a bondage caused in the mind. Bondage or liberation or the knowledge of the reality takes place in the mind. So we are taking up the bondage caused in the mind by objects, people, and things. Why? Because we depend on others psychologically. There is a psychological dependence and there is a physical dependence. These 2 are different things. So when there is a psychological dependence, ego takes over. And that ego destroys the intellect. So then there is no clarity, then there is no conviction. That strengthens the ego. We become the doer and the enjoyer. And as long as we are the doer and the enjoyer, we live in delusion, we live in passion. So there is no dispassion. So I have answered 2 questions. How the dispassion is attained and how the knowledge of the reality is attained. Now let us take this verse. The verse is Tvaya vyaptam idam vishwam tvai protam yathartatha. What the Master says? Master says, you pervade this universe, and this universe exists in you. You are really pure consciousness, Shuddha Buddha Swarupam. You are really pure consciousness by nature. Why? Because of passion you are in bondage. Why you have created a psychological bondage? That is why I gave the introduction of this verse. So, He says, Ma gamaha chudra chittatam. Why you became small-mindedness? What is small-mindedness? He is my friend, he is my enemy, I like this, my house is big, I have lots of money, I don't have money. So when the mind is constantly living with reference to the objects outside, causes dependence. Dependence brings the doer and the enjoyer. And that doer and the enjoyer is a delusion. And it is happening in the mind. Throw it away. So the master is saying, throw it away for a while. It is all psychological. It is all mental. It is all coming from the mind. It is all coming as a thought, as an idea. Can you drop it? And the moment you drop it, you realize that you are pure consciousness. You are what he says, Shuddha Buddha Swarupam Tvam. You are pure. You are pure. You are only consciousness, and that is your nature. So here the master is saying, when we are narrow-mindedness, our heart is narrow, we find the mind gets limited. What is that limitedness? Because of the attachment and detachment. Because of that attachment and detachment, there is a passion. And because of the passion, we become the doer and the enjoyer. And when we are doer and the enjoyer, we live into that delusion. And the delusion causes the bondage. Once we drop it, we are there in that state of choiceless awareness. See one example. For 1 hour, I am present and you are present. After 1 hour, I am absent for you all, you are absent for me all, but still I exist. What is that I? That is aware in presence and absence of objects, people, things outside. In sleep, house is gone. We don't even know in which bedroom, on which bed. That may be costing thousands of dollars. We don't know. I am still present in that sleep. In a waking state, I am also present. Who is that? I. So the master here declares, he doesn't say you discover. Master says that is pure awareness. That is pure consciousness. And when you know it, you are in the state of meditation. Real nature, I am. True nature, I am. Attachment and detachment of the mind cannot find our real nature. Why? Because we are different from attachment and detachment, pain and pleasure. Why we are different? Because they are the experiences in the mind. But mind is our instrument and we are behind and beyond that mind. You see, logical sequence, clarity is there. Eastern wisdom is not what is proved by other means. What are the other means? By the sense organs, by the mind. I have given that example hundreds of times. There is a dark room and I ask you to go there and find who is there. So you return. You say it's total darkness. There is no one there. So who is reporting me that there is no one there? You are there. You are present. So our mind, due to the attachment, due to detachment, due to passion, due to the ego sense, is constantly running in the world outside, and it loses sight of who am I. So Master is saying, Shuddha Buddham, Shuddha Buddha, Shuddha Buddha Swarupam Tvam. Why you have small narrow-mindedness in the heart? With all this attachment and detachment, likes and dislikes with an object, they will come, they will go. Find out what is your true nature. And your true nature, he is answering, it is pure consciousness. You are pure awareness, Shuddham. You are pure, you are awareness, and you are Swarupam. The true nature is your pure consciousness. So what he is saying, one more thing, he is saying that division and the duality is false. I am different from you. What is the standpoint? When that ego sits in the body, intellect does not bring the clarity, then we say we are different from each other. What is that different between this body and yours? Just see that. It is all made up of the matter. Due to the pigmentation, it is only someone is white, other is not. Because of the age, but ultimately it is all matter. So he is pointing also one more very important thing. He says, find out where your ego sits. There you build an ego sense, and that takes you away from the reality. When the ego sits in the I, what happens? I see this object is good in shape and form. This object is not good in shape and form. When the ego sits in the nose, then it says this smells good, this is not good. You see the division? When the ego sits in the senses, it is all about the objects. And when the ego sits in the mind, with the likes and dislikes, with the passion, it leads to delusion. And when this intellect sits in the knowledge, it sits in awareness, then what happens? The delusion is gone, it brings the knowledge, and that knowledge brings the clarity and conviction. What is that knowledge? That I am pure awareness. I am my real nature. I am pure consciousness. So it is that intellect, where it sits, we get the same kind of a perception. Shuddha Buddha Swarupam. One word, and now he directly hits our mind. Gang Chudra Chittatam. Why we have narrow-mindedness? It means every passion, if we don't have a dispassion, on Thursday we covered in a different perspective based on Patanjali. So here it is based on the teaching of this master who says the moment you find narrow-mindedness, you find conflict, you find division, you find attachment, you find likes and dislikes, where in your mind it is narrow-mindedness. Now we have a different definition of narrow-mindedness in the word. So he says the moment you have those symptoms, find out, break that narrow-mindedness, and mind will be clear, intellect will pick up the wisdom, and you will realize, I am pure awareness, I am pure consciousness. There is another way to put it. The real self, to know the real self means divorce from all the relations, first step. Divorce from all the relations, because all our relations are based on ignorance. So first step, the real self means, to know the real self, first step means divorce from all the relations, means dispassion needs to be attained. Then, second step, now I have to know what is the real nature, how the knowledge of the reality is attained. So once you have the knowledge of the reality in a meditative state, then what happens? That real self perceives only one pure consciousness pervading everywhere. So then there is no question of building a relationship. If there are two, then only we build a relationship. Do you see this point? Do you get this point? In the first step, when we have an attachment and detachment, then only we build relationship. So in that delusion, we find that you are different from me, I am different from you, I love you and you love me. That love is attachment. So we build a relationship, we become a soulmate, and after a few months we become a sourmate, and the journey continues. So first, that is why Master says, how dispassion is attained. And the second step, now I know. Oh, it is the play of the mind. Knowledge of reality. Oh, it is the play of the mind. That is why I started. That I am present when you are there. I am also present when you are not there. So I know that there is something within me which is constantly present in the presence and absence of an object outside. So I live at the highest level of dispassion. The knowledge dawns in me and freedom is here and now. So in that freedom, the Master says, what the Master says, Shuddha Buddham, Shuddha Buddha Swarupam Tvam Magam Chudra Chittamam. So he has integrated all the three answers of the three questions together. Don't be narrow-minded. So don't think that we are talking of narrow-minded in a worldly sense. Narrow-minded, you have some symptoms of anxiety because of the ego is sitting in some object or a person. That is why you have an ego sense. That is why it is hurting you. That is why, because of that, we are narrow-minded. So, just see that, contemplate and reflect on that. So, the more we reflect on this, all the three questions are answered here. How the dispassion? How to know, go. No, Master says the moment you have symptoms, you experience some anxiety, duality, conflict, division in your mind. That is what you are in a passion. Passion means you are in attachment and detachment. The mind has become narrow-minded. Break the shell of being narrow-minded. So then move to the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Let the intellect let the ego sits into the knowledge and the wisdom. What is that wisdom? That I am pure consciousness alone. That is what many people talk about, choiceless awareness. I need not to do anything. I need not to practice anything. I need to understand. But if we are not a seeker, we grasp the words only. When we are a seeker, we grasp the meaning. We are receptive. So at this moment, if you are thinking of something else, some friends, some objects, an agenda after that, then you are not a seeker. What a beautiful verse. Remember, after 20 verse of the first chapter, when we move into the second chapter, yes, in the beginning compare what kind of a seeker the Janaka was, whom this master was teaching, where he reached and where we have reached. So let us start our practice now. That practice is a non-practice. Eyes are closed. Why we close our eyes? It is a symbolic gesture to the mind. You are telling the mind in the field of awareness, "O mind, I know you move out with the 5 rivers of the sense organs. Now is the time to know yourself." So when we close our eyes, it applies to all the 5 sense organs. How to apply? Just an awareness. Any object of these sense organ comes, you smile inside the mind, become aware, leave it. What is going to happen? You will experience the steadiness in the body. We are doing and still we are not doing. When I say let us start the practice, it means we are going to enter into a non-practice state. And then look inside, become aware of the heart within. Become aware of the head within. Did you grasp the meaning of the heart? Heart is the seat of pure consciousness. We are not talking the physical heart. So you become aware of the space inside. This is what I say, steadiness in the body. Why the steadiness in the body? Because you have arrested the flow of the sense organs towards the object in the body. So body naturally becomes steady. I need not to force. Very good. And then mind facing within. Where I am within inside, within the body. Hence, I look inside. But where I am looking, the mind is looking for an object. So we say, okay, no issue. Become aware of the space. Become aware of the emptiness. Can I live into that state 24/7? Now, I use the word being comfortable. In a little deeper sense, let us pick up. Look at the neck joint, object. Neck joint is an object. Your experience, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. Okay, that is also good. Then what is behind that? That is awareness. See that? So I do not guide being comfortable in that sense in other sessions. So you pick up that. Look at the shoulder joints. Be there. Feel. What do you feel? Sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Are these experiences in the mind? Yes. Do you remember that our real nature is beyond the mind? Yes. So what is beyond? Being comfortable, sensation, steadiness. It is simple awareness. So it is the awareness is looking at the experience of sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. What a big deal. It is there. Do I need to create it? No. Do I need to know it? Yes. Can I know it when the mind is distracted? No. Do I know in attachment and detachment? No. You see, that is why the Master says dispassion needs to be there. Look at the hip joint. All our understand. Look at the hip joint, be there, feel. Same. Sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. But what is beyond? Who is looking at this? Who knows this experience? Simple awareness. Don't go too far. I. So that I is okay. Even if I is there, that I is pure awareness, finished. But what happens when the I sits in the body? Then it says, because I am the body, that is why I am experiencing sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. So the Master says, are you joking? I'm translating his words in modern way. Are you kidding? Are you body? Become aware of the entire body, all the joints of the body, and experience, no doubt, sensation, being comfortable and steadiness, no doubt about it. But who knows all the experiences of sensation, being comfortable and steadiness? I. Who is this I? That I is sitting in the intellect, and it knows it has nothing to do with the body, sense organs, attachment and oh, that is awareness, that is consciousness. Look at the Master, the way he explains. Okay, so we are comfortable. We are present, whether we are comfortable or whether we are not. In the presence and absence of being comfortable, we are always present. And that always present is pure awareness, nothing else. This is what the Master is saying. Being carefree. So being carefree is little deeper. Traditional method of Patanjali says make the body steady. But we did not enforce any discipline. We are not talking of any asanas or breathing or pranayama or any practice. We realized through the knowledge. And then comes being carefree. Look inside the head, the thoughts, feelings, sensation, images, objects appear and disappear in the mind. Suppose there is no object in the world. Can you have an attachment and detachment? No. Question of attachment, detachment will not arise. But what is the point the Master is making? Whether these objects are present or absent, you are there. It is immaterial. We feel we are there. Some people feel we are there because we are living with the honey. Other people feel, at least, I am very happy without having it. So that is what the being carefree is. So whatever the thoughts and feeling and sensation enters into your mind, let them come and go. You continue to see you are present. See that. Mind of a seeker is very subtle. If the mind of a seeker is physical, no way, no chance. That is what the Master is saying. So we see what a subtle mind is. So become aware of the world outside. Mind becomes aware of the world, the room outside. Where are you sitting with eyes closed? The temperature, the space there, the items, and the other beings there. We get too much attached to these objects outside in the world. That is why we hardly become aware of the physical mind. You will realize this. So the physical mind is aware of the room, items, objects, people in the world. Now, become aware of the body from the top to the toes. You see that we become aware of the body many a times, but differently. Our perception is different. In being comfortable, our perception is different in moving the mind within and here. So now we go a little deeper to understand. What is that understanding? You are looking at the body. You feel the body is alive. Can you find anywhere red, hot, iron bar? Red, hot, steel bar. Yes, I can find it. When you put it under the fire. But is the iron bar has a natural property of redness and heat? No. But it appears, I say it red hot iron bar. But naturally it is not. Body is not naturally alive. It is made up of the matter only. It is because of the consciousness, because of the fire. Because of the fire, iron bar is red and hot. Because of that consciousness, the body appears alive. That is the understanding. So what happens? How do you see that when your mind becomes little subtle? If it remains physical, attached, how you can understand this? How you can enter into that awareness? Oh, the body is a matter. Let me maintain my awareness. You leave the red hot iron bar outside, it cools down, moves into its natural state. That is why we experience the freezing, numbness, tingling sensation. Do you see, you have been asking me, what do we feel? Why we feel those experiences? They are beautiful. Anyhow, look inside the body, the breath. Just keep looking at the breath. I am the breath, or I am aware of the breath. So simple. I'm asking a question. Am I the breath, or am I aware of the breath? If I'm aware of the breath is different from me. So who becomes aware of the breath? It is the subtle mind. How clear it is. Why it is not clear? Go back. to the three questions. Passion is there. Have you not heard people saying, don't think about it, don't be crazy. Breath is life and the life is breath. But here, our perception is clear, subtle mind. You're looking at the breath and maintain an awareness. Answer without words, through your experience. Am I the breath or am I aware of the breath? If I am the breath, no question. We are in passion. Am I aware of the breath? Then go further. It means I am separate from breath, different from breath. Then who am I? I am awareness, pure. Look at it. Journey is so beautiful and rewarding. You come to me and you say, I have an acute pain in my head. I'm different from you. I don't feel the pain. I'm independent of you. The same thing. Breath is not me. Breath is not mine because I am pure awareness. Let us go deeper than the breath. You see, because of the passion, attachment, inkling, clinging, that is why the Master says purified mind can only explore. So looking deeper than the breath are the thoughts, feeling, senses, images. All our previous experiences enters into the mind. Very good. Question is, first thing, thought appear and disappear so fast that we don't have a time to know if I am the thought or I am aware of the thought. I'm using a different expression. Thought of a pain comes, am I the pain or I am aware of the pain? But it is very clear, if I am aware of the pain, then I am definitely separate and different from the pain. And who am I? I am the pure awareness. So what I am doing? No, we have not to do anything in the meditation. Thoughts are coming and going. Feeling is there and not. Experiences of past is there and not. I am just aware. I was aware of the world. I was aware of the body. I was aware of the breath. I am aware of these thoughts coming and going. That I is the common element. Do you see that clearly? When you see that clearly, you are already there. What a beauty of teaching of this Master. No religion, no cult, no practice. I may drive or not, but I must know driving. That is the meaning of being a seeker. Otherwise, people take it, you're telling me there is nothing to do. Yes, there is nothing to. Then why should I do it? You see that? That is not being a seeker. So until you become a seeker, we continue to do it. That is why we are doing it. Okay, let us go deeper than all these thoughts. What is left? The mind says nothing is there. Let me become aware of nothingness. So the mind is aware of a field or a zone where there is nothingness. The mind loses objectivity. When it loses that objectivity, what is left? I am, and that I am is pure awareness. Shuddha Buddha Swarupam. I am aware of the world outside, but I am. I am aware of the body, but I am. I am aware of the breath, but I am. I am aware of the thoughts, but I am. I am aware of the nothingness, but I am. That I am is present in the presence and the absence of the world outside. If that is so, then I am present in the presence and the absence of the body. How much? It's clear. But the mind plays tantrums. It says, come on dear, you are the body. It gets upset. Means I am not the seeker. Dispassion is required. Dispassion comes from Viveka. Viveka means I should know the principles of Eastern wisdom to find out what is real and unreal. And Viveka comes by a thinking in a right manner according to the teachings. So I am present in the presence and absence of a breath. I am present in the presence and absence of a thought. And I am present even in the presence and absence of nothingness. So people say it is a choiceless awareness. Yes, we can say that. So what do you have to do? Nothing. But when the mind insists, okay, but what I have to do? You are right, I understood it, and still the mind says what I have to do. So we do only with reference to other. There is nothing that is other than me. Consciousness is all pervading. Then the teachers in the Eastern wisdom gives you something to play with. Okay, whenever the mind sees the world, become aware that you are present and you are present in the presence and the absence of a world. You may feel the sensation in the body. Just become aware that you were present before this sensation and after this sensation. Who can be present before and after? That never dies. That is ever present. That is pure awareness. Shuddham Buddham. See that. See the same thing again and again. But perspective is different. Why? Mind is not easy to leave that attachment. mind will play tantrums. If we are not a seeker, it will go back to the body, it will go back to the world, it will pick up an object, it will pick up a person, and will say, okay, you are asking me not to do. You see that? So that mind must be reined by this passion first. And the student has already done it. Was known as a great master, also a great king. Continue. Even if I say continue, it means you are doing some practice. Language cannot explain it. It's a linear. We are talking of multi-dimensional consciousness. But then we will see how this seeker responds to our master. You are already in a state of doing nothing. Now pick up this phrase, doing nothing. To whom I am addressing? You, who you are. So when you are pure awareness, you are already absorbed. When you are not, when the mind says, I am the body, okay. Now you say, I have to do nothing. When you are the mind, then you say, okay. Perception. Can we live and work in that state? We are that. Question of living and working in that state do not arise. Why? Because I am present in the presence and the absence of any activity, of any thought, even of the body or the sense organ or the objects. So you say to me, what the hell you are talking about? I'm there. Means the seeker realizes. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. After the meditation session, we will share our experiences. So first, bring your mind. We return in a specific way. So we bring your mind on the right hand. Check. I am present in the presence and absence of this right hand. You just be very clear. And everything is here and now. Move the mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. And bring the hands down. How are you, David and Jerry?
Sorry, just waking up. It was a very deep meditation. The mind was playing a little bit of a tug-of-war in the beginning, and I just kept listening to the words, and all of a sudden I just saw this fluttering in my mind, and then I just went into a deep meditation. Very deep, very peaceful, no attachments. I just heard every word you said and enjoyed the ride. It was beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful, David. We are evolving. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm doing well. It was a quiet meditation from the beginning to the end. So very focused. The mind was just with you the whole way and quiet.
Beautiful.
So, very nice.
You see one thing? We have been talking about variety of experiences in the body and the mind and the vision and the colors. Now they all are gone. So I was asking you to wait for it. Why I have to see the colors when I can see the colors with my open eyes? What a big deal. We don't ask this question. And we are trapped in these visions and the delusion. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, I'm good, well, and it was a good experience today.
Good experience today. Very good. Terry, can you say, or can you speak, or your mic is not working? You are unmuted. You cannot say anything. I know I cannot hear you. It's okay. How are you, Sam?
I'm good. And I'd say in a similar way to Dave, I started off with a lot of thought, maybe of my day and what other things that were going on, and they started going away, and then I think there's some point in these quieter meditations or these non-practices where my body just feels I wouldn't say tingling, but just a peaceful feeling. Everything is just completely relaxed, and it's just all throughout my body, and it's all throughout my mind, and nothing else. So,
good.
Yes, that's how I describe it.
Yeah. That's really good. We are able to maintain our awareness. What we are pure awareness, and experiences taking place in the body, in the mind, in the thoughts, and okay, I am okay. How are you, Vaibhav?
It was very peaceful. It seems like I'm sitting in a space, and now my mind is saying to me that if any thought comes, let it go. You are very peaceful here. Just keep here, and then don't think about anything.
Good. That's another beautiful narration. So how are you, Sobha?
I'm good. Feeling peace, space,
Nice.
Very good. So, looking back, you just reflect and contemplate on this. This verse seems to be another important verse. What it says. So, just remember, I think you remember, you pervade this universe, Master says, and this universe exists in you. In the field of awareness, you are really pure consciousness by nature. So here the Master tickles, don't be narrow-minded. So here the narrow-minded means what? Am I stressed? Narrow-minded. Am I attached? Narrow-minded. So he's hitting the ignorant mind. So this week, anytime you feel attached, anxious, any duality and a conflict, see that you are. That is all for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.